Alexis Ohanian and Rebecca Sananès mock Meg's archetypes failure by a free podcasting masterclass, no Duchess. Recently, it is reported that Rebecca Sananès is hosting an 8-part masterclass, Master the Art of Podcasting, on the Riverside website. She was the co-producer and executive producer of Archetypes, Meghan Markle's podcast. She gives an inside look at how she creates and develops some of the world's most popular podcasts, and teaches podcasters how they can apply pro techniques to their own shows. However, the Duchess of Sussex is nowhere to be seen, and the reason that leads to this incident is due to Archetypes' downfall with Spotify. If you missed it, it was retweeted by Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian at almost the same time it was tweeted by this Riverside.fm and Alexis is Serena Williams' husband, one of the best friends of Meghan Markle. According to a source, Meghan called the pair to extend an invitation to the Duchess to appear on the show, but both Alexis and Rebecca did not answer, much to her anger. Previously, Serena Williams has revealed that production on her new ESPN show, In the Arena, Serena Williams, has begun. Williams and her software entrepreneur husband Alexis Ohanian announced earlier this month at the Met Gala that they are expecting their second child, following her last professional tennis tournament at the 2022 US Open. Meghan Markle, on the other hand, was not present when she should have congratulated her. According to one insider, Meghan spoke with Serena and pleaded with her to give Duchess a significant role in her ESPN series so that Duchess' reputation would improve. This material emphasizes the friendship's dissolution. Meghan, on the other hand, requested $2 million from Serena in return for this one-of-a-kind guest appearance. This How It Goes, go behind the mic with the award-winning podcast executive producer and creator of shows like Archetypes and Pivot, and learn her playbook to podcasting success, all for free. But where is Meghan right now? She didn't show up. Scott Galloway, co-host of Pivot, the podcast Rebecca produced before Archetypes, is absolutely scathing when he talks about Meghan and Harry. And I remember when Rebecca left his show to go to work for Markle, he was fawning, so excited for her to go work for the Duchess. Now he has the most vehement contempt for Meghan/Harry whenever they come up in the news. He's a business school professor, so he's not normally super focused on celeb gossip stuff. It makes me suspect that his former colleague Rebecca may have told him some horrifying stories about her experience working for MM. He's never said as much on air. I assume he wants to protect Rebecca and make sure she stays employable, but it would explain how he's done a 180. He definitely seems to think they're pretty despicable people. Earlier this week, we reported on the news that Meghan Markle's Spotify podcast had been cancelled after just one season. As is often the case with this sort of thing, there are varying accounts about what really happened. Reps for Meghan insist that the decision to end the podcast was a mutual one. But other sources claim that Spotify execs pulled the plug after concluding that they weren't getting their money's worth. Archetypes managed to attract a good-sized audience for a new podcast, but there were reports that Spotify bigwigs were unsatisfied for different reasons. For one thing, Meghan didn't produce any content during the initial 2 years of her contract, and the show's first season consisted of only 12 episodes. On top of the minimal output, there were reports of Meghan cutting corners during production. One rumor held that Meghan would have an assistant conduct celebrity interviews on her behalf and would then edit her own voice into the episode. Andy Cohen was one of the guests during the first, and only, season of Archetypes, and he's now come to Meghan's defense by blasting the reports of her alleged laziness. Of course, I spoke with Markle, and she definitely interviewed me. That's an insane rumor, Cohen recently told Us Weekly. Her podcast is Conversations with People. How would she not have? Of course she did. Andy went on to praise Meghan's interviewing skills, hailing the Duchess as quite well-researched, well-informed, and thoughtful. But not all media figures were as convinced of Meghan's prowess behind the mic. Journalist and Spotify exec Bill Simmons recently slammed Harry and Meghan as lazy and grifters. I wish I had been involved in the Meghan and Harry leave Spotify negotiation, Simmons said on a recent episode of his own podcast. That's a podcast we should have launched with them. I got to get drunk one night and tell the story of this Zoom I had with Harry to try to help him with a podcast idea. It's one of my best stories. So yeah, Meghan's foray into the world of journalism wasn't a hit with everybody. But sources close to the Duchess say that she's not discouraged by the criticism and will eventually return to the world of podcasting. She just won't be doing so at Spotify.
You another water in your eyes. Thought I'd try a storm in it freeway, riding out our destinies in the day. With the realize more we can of fear for the freedom shiver soaring up there with the reading. I'm modified with the witty stick. I'm modified with a rider but a saddle with the show was a kite in the fire of the hallway. Now we'll over your eyes together. It's all about beyond every there for the freedom and the flame for the ears. I'll be oh we are all the shadow, yeah. Whoa, I'll tell the soul I'll be alright, yeah. Whoa, we are the shadow, right, and the break, yeah. You and number one in your eyes, and facing out the city for a shining out of eye. All the rise, but a shadow will reach you with them. With money, we dimension, with a breaking free. The third and the chance on a breaking the time. I got multiplied up.
Alexis Ohanian and Rebecca Sananès mock Meg's archetypes failure by a free podcasting masterclass, no Duchess. Recently, it is reported that Rebecca Sananès is hosting an 8-part masterclass, Master the Art of Podcasting, on the Riverside website. She was the co-producer and executive producer of Archetypes, Meghan Markle's podcast. She gives an inside look at how she creates and develops some of the world's most popular podcasts, and teaches podcasters how